Welcome to this meeting. Let's begin by singing hymn number 205. Oh, for a faith that will not shrink, though pressed by every foe, that will not tremble on the brink of any earthly woe. Hymn number 205. The topic of tonight's readings is not what if, but what is. I'll be reading from the Bible and from the Christian Science textbook, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. Psalms. Why do the people imagine a vain thing? God only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. My expectation is from him. God is a refuge for us. Power belongeth unto God. Matthew. Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side. And he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter, answering him, said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, Wherefore didst thou doubt? In the morning, as he returned into the city, Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea. It shall be done. And all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. Acts. They delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, and it was determined that they should sail into Italy. But there arose a tempestuous wind. But Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, There shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped all safe to land. And the barbarous people kindled a fire and received us every one because of the present rain and because of the cold. And when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened on his hand. And the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand. And he shook off the beast into the fire and felt no harm. They looked when he should have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly. But after they had looked a great while and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds. 1 John. I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Let that therefore abide in you which ye have heard from the beginning. These things have I written unto you concerning them that seduce you. But the anointing which ye have received of him abideth in you, and ye need not that any man teach you, but as the same anointing teacheth you of all things, and is truth, and is no lie, and even as it hath taught you, ye shall abide in him. And now, little children, abide in him, that when he shall appear, we may have confidence. Deuteronomy. It shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, that thou mayest gather in thy corn. And I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Lay up these my words in your heart, and ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children as the days of heaven upon the earth. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations, mightier than yourselves. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness, from the river, even unto the uttermost sea, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein. Proverbs. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth, when there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, when he prepared the heavens, I was there. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. From Science and Health. The evidence of divine mind's healing power and absolute control is to me as certain as the evidence of my own existence. Our false views of life hide eternal harmony and produce the ills of which we complain. Because mortals believe in material laws and reject the science of mind, this does not make materiality first and the superior law of soul last. Incorrect reasoning leads to practical error. The wrong thought should be arrested before it has a chance to manifest itself. The maximum of good is the infinite God and his idea, the all in all. Evil is a suppositional lie. We are sometimes led to believe that darkness is as real as light, but science affirms darkness to be only a mortal sense of the absence of light, at the coming of which darkness loses the appearance of reality. So, sin and sorrow, disease and death are the suppositional absence of life, God, and flee as phantoms of error before truth and love. With its divine proof, science reverses the evidence of material sense. Material sense defines all things materially and has a finite sense of the infinite. Because you cannot walk on the water and raise the dead, you have no right to question the great might of divine science in these directions. Be thankful that Jesus, who was the true demonstrator of science, did these things and left his example for us. In science, we can use only what we understand. We must prove our faith by demonstration. The so-called laws of matter are nothing but false beliefs that intelligence and life are present where mind is not. When infringing some supposed law, you say that there is danger. This fear is the danger and induces the physical effects. We cannot in reality suffer from breaking anything except a moral or spiritual law. The so-called laws of mortal belief are destroyed by the understanding that soul is immortal, and that mortal mind cannot legislate the times, periods, and types of disease with which mortals die. God is the lawmaker, but he is not the author of barbarous codes. In infinite life and love, there is no sickness, sin, nor death, and the scriptures declare that we live, move, and have our being in the infinite God. In divine science, the supposed laws of matter yield to the law of mind. Science shows that material conflicting mortal opinions and beliefs emit the effects of error at all times. But this atmosphere of mortal mind cannot be destructive to morals and health when it is opposed promptly and persistently by Christian science. Truth and love antidote this mental miasma and thus invigorate and sustain existence. God is more to a man than his belief, and the less we acknowledge matter or its laws, the more immortality we possess. Consciousness constructs a better body when faith in matter has been conquered. Correct material belief by spiritual understanding and spirit will form you anew. You will never fear again except to offend God, and you will never believe that heart or any portion of the body can destroy you. The beliefs we commonly entertain about happiness and life afford no scatheless and permanent evidence of either. Security for the claims of harmonious and eternal being is found only in divine science. Truth should not seem so surprising and unnatural as error, and error should not seem so real as truth. Sickness should not seem so real as health. There is no error in science, and our lives must be governed by reality in order to be in harmony with God, the divine principle of all being. If we are Christians on all moral questions, but are in darkness as to the physical exemption which Christianity includes, then we must have more faith in God on this subject and be more alive to his promises. Controlled by the divine intelligence, man is harmonious and eternal. We say man suffers from the effects of cold, heat, fatigue. This is human belief, not the truth of being, for matter cannot suffer. Mortal mind alone suffers, not because a law of matter has been transgressed, but because a law of this so-called mind has been disobeyed. To admit that sickness is a condition over which God has no control is to presuppose that omnipotent power is powerless on some occasions. The law of Christ, or truth, makes all things possible to spirit. But the so-called laws of matter would render spirit of no avail and demand obedience to materialistic codes, thus departing from the basis of one God, one lawmaker. To suppose that God constitutes laws of inharmony is a mistake. Discords have no support from nature or divine law, however much is said to the contrary. The scriptures say, "In him we live and move and have our being." What then is the seeming power, independent of God, which causes disease and cures it? What is it but an error of belief, a law of mortal mind, wrong in every sense, embracing sin, sickness, and death? We must learn that evil is the awful deception and unreality of existence. Evil is not supreme. Good is not helpless, nor the so-called laws of matter primary and the law of spirit secondary. Without this lesson, we lose sight of the perfect Father or the divine principle of man. Mortal existence is a dream. Mortal existence has no real entity, but saith, "It is I." Spirit is the ego which never dreams, but understands all things, which never errs, and is ever conscious, which never believes, but knows, which is never born and never dies. Spiritual man is the likeness of this ego. Man is not God, but like a ray of light which comes from the sun, man, the outcome of God, reflects God. The admission to oneself that man is God's own likeness sets man free to master the infinite idea. You embrace your body in your thought, and you should delineate upon it thoughts of health, not of sickness. You should banish all thoughts of disease and sin and of other beliefs included in matter. Man, being immortal, has a perfect, indestructible life. Let the perfect model be present in your thoughts instead of its demoralized opposite. This spiritualization of thought lets in the light and brings the divine mind, life, not death, into your consciousness. The understanding that the ego is mind and that there is but one mind or intelligence begins at once to destroy the errors of mortal sense and to supply the truth of immortal sense. This understanding makes the body harmonious. It makes the nerves, bones, brain, etc. servants instead of masters. Entirely separate from the belief and dream of material living is the life divine, revealing spiritual understanding and the consciousness of man's dominion over the whole earth. This understanding casts out error and heals the sick, and with it you can speak as one having authority. The understanding and recognition of spirit must finally come, and we may as well improve our time in solving the mysteries of being through an apprehension of divine principle. At present, we know not what man is, but we certainly shall know this when man reflects God. Mind's control over the universe, including man, is no longer an open question, but is demonstrable science. The confidence inspired by science lies in the fact that truth is real and error is unreal. Divine science insists that time will prove all this. Let's have a moment of silent prayer, then repeat together the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Our second hymn is number 121. How blessed are they whose hearts are pure, from guile their thoughts are free. To them shall God reveal himself, they shall his glory see. Hymn number 121.
Blessed are they whose hearts are pure, from God the thoughts are free. To them shall God reveal himself, they shall his glory see. They truly rest upon his word in fullest light of love. In this their trust they ask no more than guidance from above. They who in faith unmixed with doubt, then grafted word receive, whom every sign of heavenly power persuades, and they believe. For them far greater things than these doth Christ the Lord prepare, whose bliss no human heart can reach, no human voice declare.
Again, welcome to this testimony meeting. We're glad you're here, whether in person or on Zoom. This church is one of the worldwide branches of the Mother Church, the First Church of Christ Scientist in Boston, Massachusetts. On Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock, we have a church service based on the weekly Bible lesson presented in the Christian Science Quarterly. Children and teens are welcome in our Sunday school at the same time as the church service. And our children's room is always available for those too young for Sunday school or the Wednesday evening meeting. In our reading room in this building, you'll find the Bible, the writings of Mary Baker Eddy, Christian Science magazines, and the Christian Science Monitor. The reading room is open 1/2 hour before Wednesday meetings and a half hour after the Sunday service. I'll now read the church manual bylaw regarding testimonials. Glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. St. Paul. Testimony in regard to the healing of the sick is highly important. More than a mere rehearsal of blessings, it scales the pinnacle of praise and illustrates the demonstration of Christ, who healeth all thy diseases. Psalm 103, verse 3. This testimony, however, shall not include a description of symptoms or of suffering, though the generic name of the disease may be indicated. This bylaw applies to testimonials which appear in the periodicals and to those which are given at the Wednesday evening meeting. Now, in this part of the meeting, we're eager to hear how God has been blessing you through your understanding and practice of Christian Science. Those on Zoom, be sure to unmute yourselves before speaking. Thanks for being here tonight. That includes our musicians, Ashley and Dan, and our Zoom tech team, Joe and Josker. Now let's close with singing hymn number 351. Through the night of doubt and sorrow, onward goes the pilgrim band. singing songs of expectation, marching to the promised land. Clear before us through the darkness gleams and burns the guiding light. Brother clasps the hand of brother, stepping fearless through the night. Hymn number 351.